What's up YouTube? Today I wanted to show you my Memento deck profile, still pure by the way, post ban list. This deck got a decent push from the ban list. So first of all, Banksoul got hit a lot, so it's even more inconsistent. So basically, probably the best way to play it is with a bigger K9 package than before post Doom of Dimensions. And then just trying to dig into the Banksoul engine with um, like cards like Sayuja. That's the first thing, and the second one is that Paradise Smasher is gone, so you can actually play Breakers again. Um, and you normally should play Breakers in this deck because this deck plays very good into boards anyways, even without non-engine sometimes. So I decided to grab this deck again, test it out, and it's pretty nice. I tested a bunch of different versions, all pure by the way. You can still play Fiendsmith by the way, with going either you try to go Exciter Knight with like 2 Dark Blades, or you try to go the level rank 3 Jin that's also Light Fiend, and you have like Anguish as a level 3 and like Sleepy, and then you could also play like more Sleepies. But yeah, just let's just get right into it. So pretty standard. I think Memento engine wise in pure is pretty much solved. Like 3 Dark Blade. I mean, some people don't like the amount of normal summons you have, but you want consistency because the stack can brick. Um, and then just the random one-offs. This is probably the first time I'm not playing Horned. I still like Horned Dragon. I'm still testing it out. Um, but it's like a brick. It doesn't do anything. Even if like it's a Memento name, so this plus Horned is full combo. Bone Party plus Horned is full combo. But the problem is, I wanted to go down to 40, and there's nothing better to cut than Horned Dragon. So that's the reason for cutting Horned Dragon. If there would have been like anything better, like I don't know, then Horn would have been in here. But you cannot cut any of those cards, and those not as well. So that's the reason for cutting Horned Dragon. Um, the reason why I like Horned Dragon is first I think for going first you don't need it, only if your hand is like Sleepy plus Horned, or like if your hand is just Sleepy and nothing else. Like you wish for a Horn Dragon. Like if you have Sleepy plus 4 non-engine cards, you want a Horn Dragon. But for going first, I think you don't need it. Where I like Horn Dragon is going second, especially post siding, where you can do things like OTKing with X Core plus Horn Dragon, or through the barrier. Like if you get interrupted and you cannot go into Combined Creation, your main OTK machine, you just go into Access Core plus Horn, which also works. So that's the main reason why I like Horn Dragon, and that's the main reason why I would play Horn Dragon. For going first, I don't think you need him. You can also build Herald plus SP without Horn Dragon. So that's for the Memento monsters, 16. Then for the spell traps, obviously just the standard ratio, 3 of the quick spells. The strength of the deck still doesn't change, and the field spell, one of mandatory combi piece. Like it gets you to both quick spells, and it's a free body. Like anytime you pop something, and some people cut this to 2. I wouldn't do that. It's the strength of your deck is your ability to play through hand traps, and if you cut any of those cards, it gets weaker. So yeah, that's probably the reason for me to play 3, even if you draw like 2. Like I told you in the past, I always draw 2 of this card, but I mean better 2 than like none of them. So yeah, and then still the 1 prosperity for consistency. You just need consistency. This deck only has 11 1-card starters, and from those 11 1-card starters, like 8 are normal summons. So you want some extenders. Like with this, you have like 10, 13 extenders. If you count like Sleepy, you have 14. And if you count like some other stuff, you have even more. But these are your main extenders. Um, so yeah, that's for the quick plays, and then for non-engine, free Fuva. Um, if it wasn't for consistency, I wouldn't play this card. The only reason to play this going second is not to skip your opponent's turn; it's to dig into your engine or board breakers, because in the like Fuva, when you get like 2 or 3 draws, your hand gets at some point like unbeatable. Like this deck with 5 cards can already draw like hands that are unstoppable, and if you have like 7 or 8 or 9, like you just auto win. So then for the board breakers, 3 Droplet, 3 Super Poly, 3 Eclipse, and 1 Talents. I thought about, when I was like thinking about going down to 40, I was even thinking of cutting Talents into the side deck, but Talents is just insane. Like versus every turn 0 play, it's like look at the hand, or like especially versus Draco Tail, hand knowledge is pretty good, and this card is already pretty good going second right now. Those cards are dodges as well. You can with this dodge like imperm on Anguish or like anything else. Um, yeah, like, so, but you already can like dodge imperm sometimes. Like if you use Eclipse on your cards like Tatsu, or one of these, and you don't have a face-up Memento monster, you cannot destroy because the monsters face down are like unknown. So I just recently found out that, because before I never played Eclipse in this deck, and I thought you can dodge like these as well, because my theory was that it checks if you can destroy Memento monster and then you just do it. But this doesn't work, so don't cheat with that. And the reason for talents, by the way, is as well just like 1 starter plus 1 extended plus talents is always GG. Like if they handship you with a monster, then they're just cooked. Super Poly is great. I really like Super Poly. It's probably from those breakers my favorite breaker, just because it's unstoppable. It removes some stuff, and in the meta right now, I think it's not even that bad. Like it's still good versus Mitsu. It's still good versus Yami and Crystal K9 and Mirror Match and Draco Tail. So that's the reason for Super Poly. But against some matchups, like if you play against Rising Mitsu going second, you obviously like in the past, you just side it out. Yeah, that's for the main deck. As I said, 40 cards. I think I wouldn't go up. Like, I as I said, I decided to cut Horn Dragon. If you play Horn, you can go 41, but or you just cut anything else, like what you prefer. You can also play multiple Sleepies, especially like before when Vanquisher was the best deck, or like more popular. Um, you could also play multiple Sleepies because of like they sometimes like Caesar pops, the trap pops, just stuff like that. So yeah, then to the Exo deck, pretty standard still, like 2 Creation King, 1 Twin Dragon. I wouldn't go up. You just have then 13 like 12 flex spots, which are super body targets, link like climbing stuff, and yeah, then like for the cards as well, Guardian Chimera and Dracostapelia. Still, this card rarely comes up, but I just like this card being like a niche scenario option you have, and it's a niche scenario option you have that also interrupts your opponent, versus some decks like twice, because you can like manipulate level with it, but the negation is obviously the more important fact. And this theoretic is also a super body target, as well as the Mud Dragon, the Garura, and the Secretarian Dragon. This is a like recently added card because of Draco Tail, obviously. This doesn't only get rid of the Gulamel and the Arthelion they have. If they go for Seal Sport, which they can accomplish if you like doesn't like hand up them, and we play Ball Breakers, so we will not hand up them. You can also get rid of Seals and Gulamel, which is then the end board. So this is not only, by the way, get rid of 2 monsters. You also check the first fusion summon they make on your turn. So the only problem, obviously, with super poly is that you need to like take a look when you're super polying. Just because of Tatsu, like if your hand is super poly plus Tatsu and like 4 other cards that are non-starters, you need to check if you can accomplish it even. Or like versus some decks, what you can do is like activate Tatsu. If it doesn't respond, you just go super poly and clear the board. So that's also working because that you control no momentum is just an activation requirement. So if you activate it and you then have a different monster on the field, you can still summon it. So this works. And then for the link monsters, obviously end board pieces, SP Little Knight and Herald. still crazy, especially right now when more people are playing Ball Breakers, I think. This card is very good against like probably every deck right now except Vanquish Soul, because they're not really running spells. But SP and Herald are just like, if you end on combine plus those two, it's really good. You're checking Ball Breakers, you're checking like Rising cards probably as well, and like so many like versus Yami. I also think they're good, just because this can also stop like Dominus Purge or Imperm that they top deck, because Purge is also a decent breaker versus Memento, because you can purge um, the Bone Party, so it's not that bad. And then one Dark and one Liner. I thought about cutting Dark for something else. I don't know for what, but you can cut it theoretically. I was keeping it in before versus Vanquish Soul, because Vanquish Soul not really playing lights. Um, but sometimes I'm just making it not to Reborn, just to get like a second attribute for access code. Because if you go Liner into Celine, you just have lights, so with Dark you get another pop. But obviously you just do it when you can accomplish the 4 bodies then, or the third body for Celine, because Celine always has a body with Joel and okay, I'm not maining Joel, I'm siding Joel. And Anguish. This card is still pretty good versus K9 versions, because like Joko is dark, Lantern is dark, and like in general versus Mitsu as well, there are some darks. So yeah, you can just like keep the dark in. It can come up, and it probably will. So yeah, and like worst case scenario, you just use it as an attribute for access code, which is the most use case, just because you want to clear board with access code, which works. And the last card in my extra deck is Goddess. Don't think this card is 100% needed. I would just play it for Lunalight, just to get rid of a tower. The main reason for this is like, the problem with Lunalight matchup is, I talked to it in the last Memento video, you cannot like kill them when they have towers, because you go battle phase, they just clear your board, so you need a threat that gets rid of towers. And I personally don't like the link to what's it called, the Burning Abyss link 2 that protects. I saw like some lists playing it, but I was like thinking about just going in with it, because if your opponent knows Memento deck, they will not Raigeki you most of the cases, especially like if you have like 5 bodies or like 4, then maybe they do it, especially when they have like 2 towers, then they can accomplish 1 Raigeki. But I don't think they will go 2 Raigekis before battle phase. Like this would have been pretty like pretty bad, just because you can then summon Creation, run over both, and Lunalight is a deck, when you kill the board, you won. Like the deck has the probably worst grind game in the meta. And also like Lunalight isn't that popular right now. It probably gains a little bit popularity because of the banlist, but I think in the end people will just not play it, just because it's one of the deck that doesn't want to be expected. If you expect Lunalight, it's bad, just because of outs for towers, and obviously handships you can play against it. Sadly, no side deck today. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have enough sleeve of this. I lost some, and I didn't want to re-sleeve like 5 minutes earlier, so just this. But I think I showed the side deck on the last Memento video, but it's just gonna be a theory. And I will take this deck as it is to a regional on Sunday. Today is Thursday, so I will probably make a probably like quote unquote aftermath video, how it was, what I would change, and then also show you a side deck with explanations and like theory behind it. And I already told you I'm side decking Joel, but you can definitely expect something in the future when it comes to that. Yeah, that's just like it. I really wanted to make a Memento deck profile post banlist, because I love this deck, and every time I'm like, as you probably know, I play Deco Trail right now. every time I play Draco Tail, I'm having so much fun, but every time I look at Memento, I'm just having more fun. So I'll definitely play this deck, especially now when you can play Breakers. So yeah, that's just it. If you have any questions for deck profile or ratios or like any ideas, just write it in the comments. I'll try to answer any question or idea as possible. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.